Potash and Phosphate Institute, and I worked for Mississippi Chemical for 10 years. And during this time, I've done a lot of work with Jimmy Sanders. For the last 3 or 4 years, I've been a consultant, fertility consultant with Jimmy Sanders, and have really enjoyed getting to know all of the Sanders people and working with them over this tenure. I want to discuss with you this morning some fertility opportunities that are open for you this spring. There are many opportunities that exist for maintaining and building soil fertility. Fertilizer prices are lower than in the previous few springs, and especially potash. Fall application of P and K are very popular, but the wet fall of 2009 prohibited this important practice over most of the Jimmy Sanders trade area. So don't overlook fertility, an important part of a successful crop production program. Spring is an excellent time to apply phosphate, potash, sulfur, and the micronutrients for your crops. And any time is a good time to lime. So put it on, don't put it off. Soil testing is a best management practice. The wet fall of 2009 severely limited soil sampling. A soil test is good for 2 to 3 years, and the loss of sampling last fall has pushed some soil tests out of date. While fall sampling is very popular and widely used, spring is still the most popular sampling season. So it is not too late to get this important practice done. Corn and high-yielding soybeans have a big appetite for phosphate and potash, so a soil test on a 2-year basis may be necessary for these important crops. We want to take a look now at nutrient removal by corn and soybeans. For instance, a 150 bushel corn crop removes 112 pounds of nitrogen, 66 pounds of phosphate, and 44 pounds of potash. A 60 bushel soybean crop, on the other hand, removes 240 pounds of nitrogen, 48 pounds of phosphorus, and 84 pounds of potash. When soil test levels of P and K are reduced by crop removal, it is expensive to rebuild these fertility levels. On the average, it requires 8 to 10 pounds of P2O5 to raise the soil test P-value 1 pound, and 4 to 6 pounds of potash to raise the potassium level 1 pound. The soil test measures soil levels of pH, P, K, micronutrients, and gives a recommendation for phosphate, potash, and micronutrients, zinc, and manganese. It is the only way to determine soil pH and a lime recommendation. So don't guess about what your fertility needs are. Do a soil test. Sulfur is necessary for profitable corn, cotton, and soybean production, especially on sandy soils that are low in organic matter. Sulfur should be applied in the spring at 10 to 12 pounds per acre. A soil test program will provide information to apply the right fertilizer at the right time, at the right rate, and put it at the right place. Jimmy Sanders has good relations with 3 regional soil testing labs: Billy Bradford in Yazoo City, A&L in Memphis, and Dr. Pat Bonner in Northeast Louisiana. These labs offer good service with good turnaround times. Sanders also offers soil sampling with the AutoProbe system. This is a tool that rapidly samples a field and provides the lab with a good representative sample on a 2.5 to 5 acre grid basis. One interesting fact connected to soil testing is pea fertilization of rice. Long thought to need little phosphate, phosphorus deficiencies are being found in Mississippi and Arkansas. Normally, pea-deficient rice soils are high in pH, whereas K-deficient rice soils are low in pH. So rice farmers should take time to soil test their fields and make sure that P and K levels are adequate for producing high profit yields. And remember, Sanders has the capability of applying your fertilizer needs on a variable rate basis, so the needed lime and fertilizer can be applied where it is needed at the right time, at the right rate. Starter fertilizer has become very popular with corn farmers. In fact, some reported last fall that corn with starters had lower moisture at harvest time than the corn without starters. On the average, a starter fertilizer will increase yields 10 to 12 bushels and enhance harvest time by 10 to 14 days. Sanders has a good supply of starter fertilizers, including the premium White Lightning and 1034-0. Nitrogen is very important in corn, rice, and cotton production. At this time, prices and availability are more favorable than they have been in the past few years. UAN is priced very favorably now and should be considered as an economical nitrogen source for your corn. Split applications of nitrogen for corn and cotton is a BMP, a best management practice. 2009 once again showed the importance of split application of nitrogen for corn and cotton. During the wet springs that cause losses of nitrogen from denitrification, split applications help ensure that nitrogen is there when it is needed. When applying urea or UAN solution on the surface without incorporating or watering it in, always remember to use Agritane, which is a best management practice. And I highly recommend this product to reduce volatilization losses. It's been very successful in the past, especially these last few springs that have been relatively dry. And it really protects the urea and the UAN from volatilization losses for up to 20 days. So I strongly recommend this practice. If you have any questions this spring concerning your fertilization program, do not hesitate to contact me or your Sanders rep. We can help you. Thank you.